Hello everybody, it's Alex again. So back with you with the clean off and fix of a hammer. Now I found this hammer on the road when I was renovating the house we live in now. And I always had plans to fix it after the renovation was done. Now we've almost been here for 10 years and I'm gearing up to do another house soon. And the hammer still looks like this. Now this is a hammer I've used a lot, even though the head's loose, because it won't come off, and the balance is just great, and I really like the handle. It fits my hand really well. I can't imagine the person losing this was very happy, but it's got a few issues like the loose head, and because the way it's been fitted with this protruding, it caused the handle to crack quite deeply actually. um so I'll clean this up. It will be a clean up because I intend to keep using it. So it won't be all shiny, but we need to fix that handle and we need to clean that head. Now I've been trying to get it off. Like I said, it won't, it's loose, but it won't come off. So what I'll do, I'll drill a few holes so I can take the wig out, and then I can take the handle off, after which I can glue the splits, and then refit this handle on, or refit this head on. So yeah, let's get started on that one. So wedge is out and the head is off. Quite interesting, I think so. Anyway, this is the wedge and it says DRTM, which is German, and this is something they use mostly pre and during World War II, and maybe shortly after. I gave it a little bit of a wire wheel so you can see a bit better. So that's quite interesting. So this might be either a very old wedge or maybe a little bit of an older hammer. I was planning on on cutting it down and putting it in like that, but now I know this is GTRM. I'll probably make one myself and I'll put this one apart. Like I'm thinking, like, if you have, there must be all sorts of different steel wedges made with all sorts of different shapes and whatever. It might be quite cool to have like a little collection in like a shadow box. So I'll clean the sides and I'll keep that, and maybe I can collect them in the future. Like, I like to collect everything anyway. So here's the head. Like I said, just came off. I'll clean it. I've been sanding on it years ago. This is from years ago. So I'll clean it and I'll file this down because it's been hammered quite badly on the top previously, not by me. So I'll take that off. Here you can see the handle. So I've drilled a few holes in there, as you can see, and then I use my vice grip to pull the wedge out, which went quite easily. But you can see it's also correct right down the middle where the wedge was driven in, because there was no a hole drilled to stop the splitting, and as I showed you. So what I'll do now, I will glue this up with a lot of glue, clamp it down, and work on the head whilst this is dry. So hammer's coming along quite nicely, I think. I've got it. I've got the head, all wire wheel, and I did sand on it. There was quite some deep pitting around the bottom here, which I know will rust up again relatively easily and relatively quick. You can still see there's a little bit of pitting left over there. So you're walking that line, or between doing a full sanding and I walked that line. I think I've kept it fairly used. You can see it's been used, so I can still use it, because if I end up sanding the whole thing, getting it all nice, I'd be afraid to use it afterwards, because and I did spend quite some time sanding it and trying to balance it out, blending it all in. I think I did all right. Maybe need some sanding up there, I don't know yet. But I've got it fitted on again. It's kept its balance, which I liked. I think it's on there fairly straight. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. You can see it's completely tight around the bottom. And I've filed the edges inside where it was bashed in. of the hammerhead. So I think that looks all right. So what I'll do now is I'll take it off again, and I will clean the handle up a little bit, you know, try and blend my sanding in with the rest, stain it up a little bit, you know, get it all nice and smooth, and I'll cut a slot to put the wedge in. Yes, I know it's a wedge. I was looking for the word earlier, as English isn't my first language by any means. So cut a slot for the wedge and a pivot hole, so hopefully it won't crack again. And I look for my wedges, and yeah, let's get on with this job. Right, lads, here it is, all done up. You know, nicely fixed to the head, I think. Anyway, so a wooden wedge and a steel wedge that I made. You know, put some red into the inside of the claw, and I've been already oiling this up with linseed oil, so I'll try and keep that up for at least this week, and then once a week for a month, and then once a month for a year, and so on. You know, and I've put some of my true oil on the handle to try and get that colored head back a little bit. It's still a bit light, so I might try another coat to stain it a bit more, but you know, I think it will get darker in use. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked to finally have this project done. I'm still thinking about maybe making a you know, a cap over here to protect the handle, because it did have some damage there previously, you know, from mishitting. Yeah, so that's that project done. Now I've got a few recent online and offline acquisitions that I'll show you that I think you might be interested in to see. So here's the items. Now recently Scoutcraft showed this nice level 5 putty knife. He had a 2-inch one, and I really liked it, and I've been looking for it online, but the 2-inch one doesn't seem to be available in the Netherlands where I live. Though I went to a tile shop. I had to go to a tile shop this week, and they had a big assortment of level 5 all sorts of putty knives and other sort of plastering knives, or you name it, and they had the 3-inch version, so I had to buy that, and it wasn't cheap. It seems to be you know, it's got a nice flex to it, so try that out. I also bought this miniature bottle jack online. Now I was under the impression that this is quite rare, and I thought it was in nice condition. Now I've been looking on American eBay, and they're all over the show. I think it might be the most, at least in the US, might be the most common miniature bottle jack you can get. I think you can get them for about, in the US at least, for about $30, including an original box. But you don't see them over here at all, really. So yeah, I'm happy to have had a bit of Americana. Also a bit of Americana are these two pancake padlocks, and I've been after these for years, and then I've bought these two in a week online. Came up in the same week. I've never seen one other than, you know, having to import them from the US and pay about 60 quid in shipping. Now this one, the Harvard 6-lever, comes with his original key. You know, you can just make out the company's name there, and works lovely. And this key might be I think this key might be of a later date, and it doesn't work as lovely either as the other one. It does open, though. It does open, but it takes a bit of, you know, fiddling around, and you see it doesn't want to go now, but it does. It works when you really want to. Not gonna do anything to these. I think they have a lovely original patina, you know, lovely original patina. So I'll keep them like this. So yeah, that's some of my recent acquisitions. Trust me, there's more, and I'll show you in upcoming videos. Please let me know what you think about the hammer project, because I've got at least 2 other hammers around that need to be done. And if you like if you like this project and you like the video, I'll show you. And if you really don't like the project, I probably won't. I'll just do it off camera. I did have plans originally to make this a vacuum grip handle, but I really like this handle and I didn't wanna ruin it. So when I go to the charity shop next time, and if there's a claw hammer, I'll buy it and I'll do a vacuum grip project on that one. If you're at all interested. Right, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.